How's it going? Welcome back. It's Jonathan. Now in this video, I actually don't have a lot to say, but I thought I would come out, give you a recap, give you an update on where the markets are at. And because I don't have a lot to say today, I'm actually just going to focus on three markets. Now, because I don't have a lot to say, we're just going to be taking a quick look at three markets, like I said. So the first one is Ethereum, and then we'll look at the Dow Jones, and then we'll finish it off with the Bitcoin market. So I'm hoping that today's going to be swift, straight to the point, and just provide you an update on where we're at now, what we were expecting and where we're at now, and then what potentially could be happening over the next few weeks. So we'll start off first with the Ethereum charts. Let's jump into that one right now. Now, I wanted to just talk about this chart just for two reasons, because there's going to be two price points that we're watching that we want to be focusing on. So as you may recall, we're watching this $5,000 point, US dollars, and then the $6,000 point. So we got a bit of a cluster occurring, which I believe was around 5,900 into the 6,100 mark, and then around this 4,900 up until around the $5,000 mark was also another cluster. Now, if you know anything about these clusters, we've been watching them for the Bitcoin market for quite a few months, I should say now. And as you can definitely see, these clusters are a great example of how the market works and gives us a good idea on price points that we may be looking to de-risk, or seeing how strong the market is to push through it. And if it does push through it, then it may present a good buying opportunity. So as you know, this is not about providing you any advice to buy or sell. So I don't want you to look at these numbers and be like, oh, I saw it on John's video, so I'm gonna go sell. That's not the point. It's to show you how to start to trust your instinct and start to build a case for the markets. And that way, when you come in and you try to apply the same theory, you've seen how it works, and then you can go in and apply the same theory and now build the trust in that theory, so that way you know how to use it in the future. So that's pretty much I had it all for that one. Just this price point here is what we're watching. So the major one, the first major one, is this 4,800, so 4,900 to 5,000 point, and we're currently sitting around the 4,400. So if the market's going to continue to rally from here, we have another 10% before we get to our first potential major area of price clustering. Okay, so that's around 10% away. So if we see the market scoot up over, for example, the next 2-3 weeks, we could see it pull back before moving higher into this potential 6,000. Now, a lot of people's targets for Ethereum, I believe, are looking around 10,000 for the end of the year. Now, if that's going to occur, so we have this higher one around 7,000. If we just take this, move it up, and I'm just moving it up until the 10,000 mark. All right, so that's 125%. And then if we look at time, for example, and we bring this out from October out until, say, maybe let's just go mid-January, that gives us 76 calendar days, or around 11 weeks. So we'll be looking at going 125% up in around 11 weeks if we're looking for an end of the cycle sort of move. And whilst that's not impossible, it's definitely a major move. So let's just go back to 2018 for a second. Let's pop this out. Let's go to the same sort of period we have now. Time measure out from around the end of October, and what was it, 11 weeks or so? So 11 weeks, that would take us into the peak. If it was to repeat, let's take a look at our price extensions for how high the market can go. And the market rose 370% over that time period. So like I said, it's not impossible, but we are looking for that run. And the run in this instance has a few drawbacks. So we could be looking at those few pullbacks around this area. And what we'll be looking for is that it just keeps breaking higher and higher and higher. So we'll see how it goes. If it's going to be of any significance, the next 11 weeks could be major, or might turn out to be a complete bust and nothing happens. Let's see. I'm in the market, but I'm not putting any potential tops in the market, because I just want to see how the market moves around these two price clusters, because again, this is a new market we're following. So I want to see how it moves around these so I can get an idea on what might likely occur in the future. Let's go ahead and close that off. Now, it's been a little while since I spoke to you about the Dow Jones, that's the US market, but I believe it was around here that we suggested. Now again, I'm not always right, I'm just putting out opinions on what I see in the market as it comes out. It was around here that I suggested that all the huff and puff regarding the Chinese issues with their Evergrande property market, and this sell-off was going to start to fizzle out. And as we can see, a lot of that has fizzled out, and the market has started to stage its run higher, which is in the forecast, and that's okay. So we're looking for potential run higher until around December. Obviously, there's a potential sell-off in November. Let's see what actually occurs on the actual charts though. but we could be looking for this potential run higher into December, and then we might get an end of year sell-off. Now, a lot of people are talking about the Christmas rally. Are we going to get a move into potentially 25th of December? They call it the Christmas rally. It's a very commonly studied market hypothesis where towards the end of the year, the market just gets very feverish and everyone's not at work, so they're able to invest in the markets. Going by the forecast, if the forecast is to be of any accuracy this December, that will not occur. So we'll have to see what plays out. Obviously, we trade what we get. We don't trade the forecast. The forecast just gives us a guide on angles. But there's every potential that we could be looking bearish this December instead of bullish. Again, we're looking at this major run here and then this minor decline into the end of the year. So I'm not saying that it's going to be a complete bear market. I'm just saying that the bias is more to the downside than to the upside for December. But we'll see how that plays out. Just wanted to give you an update on that. So let's keep going into now Bitcoin. Alrighty, now like I mentioned, I don't really have a lot to say about Bitcoin because not a lot has changed since last week, but there are a few points that I wanted to bring up with you, and primarily that is on the price point. Okay, so these were the two boxes that we drew in last time I spoke, and that was this one and this one. And I believe, I can't remember where the market was. Maybe the market was around here. I can't quite remember. And the market has fallen down into this price box here, and it also hit a time aspect. So the next date we were watching were the 28th. So just on this topic, for the remainder of the year, so I actually did it back in September until the end of the year, I published all the time counts that we're watching for the end of the year. I published about 5 to 6 of them every single month for the rest of the year, so the next 3 months. And then I published the forecasted ones out into next year. So if you're seeing how all these turn dates play out in the market in front of you, if you want to get them for next year, they're already published. I've got the link in the description below, and it is the forecast or the curve that I believe is going to dominate the Bitcoin market and the crypto space next year. So if you haven't already registered for that, and everyone who registers, everyone who comes in and says, my God, this is revolutionary, I'm never going to look at the markets the same again, I can't believe I didn't see this sooner. Almost everyone has said something positive, and no one has said anything negative about this. So if you want to get in, it's very cheap. It's currently about $350 to buy a yearly subscription, though I am going to extend it past the October, so the Halloween season. I will be raising the price. I will be doubling the price. The price was already meant to double into the 700 mark. I will be doubling it towards the end of November now, until we get to our eventual $1,000 price for that subscription. So whenever you join, you lock in that subscription. So if you join at the $300 mark and you want to roll into 2023, 2024, you'll keep that subscription price. Okay, I'm not going to rise it on you, but if you join when it's $1,000, unless we offer any special discounts, you will be locked into that price. So I encourage you, if this is something that you want and you want to get in early, you're going to want to get on it early. That's what I'm trying to get at, okay? So I can't tell you every single turn date that's going to occur in the market and how the market's fluctuating. Let's take a look at the 23rd. The 23rd was here. The market rallied higher. That was one of the potential turn dates I put out. The next one, which I put in the group, and it's been published, a lot of people have seen it, was the 28th. And I did a special video, and I said, if the market comes down into this price point, because we saw the market coming down again, the market comes down into the price point, and it hits a low in the price point on the 28th, then that would be a better opportunity to buy the dip than else time, okay? So that's the sort of insight you can get. That's the sort of knowledge that's available to you, and I'll teach you how to do it. I'll show you how it works. It's all there. And look, the ball's in your court. I've given you the offer. So from here on out, I think there's a few turn dates coming up in the next few days. I think one in about 2 to 3 days. And then I think that there's potentially a major turn date around the 5th to 7th. So we'll see what happens around that time frame. From here, it would be good to see the market come up over the next few days and then move down into potential 5th to the 7th. Obviously, this time frame here is stretching half a month. But if we just pop in a few bars here, so a couple of bars up and then potentially down into the 5th to the 7th. I'm not too sure how that looks at the moment, but those are the two time frames. It would be good to see another major low occur on a time count, at least a major time count. And even if it came down into this box again, that would be okay. Though if it staged a higher low, that would be even better. And that would set us up beautifully for the end of the year. So let's just say hypothetically the market comes up, comes down over a few days, and then stages either a higher low or it moves into one of these boxes. That would be good. So this is the kind of strategy that you want to be using when it comes to buying the dips. I see a lot of people go to Facebook and or they go to YouTube channels and they write comments about, is this the best time to be buying? Or have I missed the run? Or, you know, when is the best time to be selling? How do I buy the dip? I spoke about this in the private forum. I'm going to give you a little vision of it here. The market moves up, and let's just say we have a potential time count from 1 or 2 days from here. So let's just say this is the time count here, and the market's moving up. Is it a good time to be buying right here? The answer to that would be no, because the market could come up and then reverse. So let's just say we have a time count several days later, and the market's falling. A lot of people don't know when to buy the dip, okay? They don't know when to buy the dip. What we want to see is we want to see price, time, pattern all converge into a good area. For example, on the chart right in front of you, we have price and we have time. We want to see those come together and align, because once they all align, there's a very high chance that the market will change direction. So where do you buy the dip? Let's zoom in and just look at this live example. Where do you buy the dip? Do you buy this bar? Do you buy this bar? Do you buy this bar? This one, this one, this one, this one? Well, a lot of people don't know where to buy the dip. This is the dip you wanted to be buying right here, in the price point on the 28th of the time count. That is the dip. So that is how you buy the dip, and that is how you that is the highest probability of buying the dip, I should say. So not how to buy the dip, that's the dip you should be buying with the highest probability of success. So I hope I'm trying to make that as clear as possible, that that is how you buy the dip. And how do you sell the highs? Well, this high here could have been sold because we had a turn date which was expected around the 5th. The market moved into a price point, okay, market moved into a price point, and then also we had a time aspect occur. So that is how you buy, how you sell the top, and then it moves into these boxes again, and all you're doing in this scenario here is looking for the time counts to confirm that the market could reverse. So each time they move in and out of these boxes and in and out of the time counts, we align them and we look to buy and sell tops and bottoms, okay? So some of the bottoms that we were looking at was this one here, this one here, this one here. Those are the three major bottoms that you could have been dip buying on before the next run higher. And then this one, I believe, is a very important one for the next run. So that's all I have, 15 minutes, so much for a short video. I'm good at talking, but I really hope that I try to make the points very clear on what I'm trying to get at. From here on out, as you can see, there's no major price resistance until we get up to around the 87,000. So I'm not going to go into the exact details on that now. We'll wait for that to play out, but I have gone out way into the future on price points, and all we need to do is make sure that we get our time cycles aligning and also potentially pattern, if there's any patterns playing out, whether it's double tops, head and shoulders, etc., to get greater confirmation that we might be looking to sell, overbuying into these rallies. So that's all I have. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. And if you want to join the forum, if you want to join us privately, the link's in the description. You just drop down that link on YouTube, or drop down the little box on YouTube, and you'll find the link in the description. You click on that, you read the little advert. If you like the advert and what's on offer, you put in your credit card and you buy. If you don't like it, you come back here. It's free. I talk to you completely free. You're under no obligation to buy anything from me. I will share things with you. But if you want to go deeper, I can't share that publicly, because first of all, it took me a lot of time to learn, and second of all, if I shared it publicly, it wouldn't benefit you. You wouldn't actually understand what I'm trying to get at, because I can't go into the same level of detail. So talk to you soon.